Hey there, I'm Michelle. Thanks so much for being here. Today's reading will answer your yes or no question. It will be very quick and clear using both a pendulum and some tarot and oracle cards. So if you are new to these readings, I've pulled out 5 cards that you can choose from. The one you're feeling most drawn to will be the right reading for you. I'll put timestamps in the description so that you can jump ahead to your reading. So before you do that, let's actually have a look at these cards. So card number 1 is growth. Card number 2 is disruption. Card number 3, cleanse. Card number 4, illumination. And card number 5, space. So just take a moment to choose your card. Just go with your intuition as to which card is calling you, whether it's the color, the image, or the word on the card. And while you're doing that, just a couple quick notes about this reading. So first, this will be a timeless reading, so whenever you come across it is the perfect time for you. And second, if you have more than one question, feel free to choose a card for each question. And of course, as I always say, please use your intuition to guide you when it comes to choosing your reading, but also with regards to the message. Especially with yes or no style readings, pay attention to your response as you're watching the video and getting the answer. For example, whether you're feeling excited about the answer or relieved or disappointed, that will tell you a lot about your true feelings regarding your question. Okay, I think that's everything. So when you're ready, you can find the timestamps in the description box and head over to your reading, and I will see you there. Hello and welcome to everyone who chose card number 1, which was our growth card. So let's start with the pendulum to answer your yes or no question. So take a moment to think about your question, group 1. Really feel that question in your heart space. Take a deep breath. And what is the answer to group 1's question? So for me, if you're new here, a yes is vertical and a no is horizontal. And we have a yes. So yes to your question, group 1. Let's have a look at a couple tarot cards just for any other information that you might need regarding your question. Okay, we have movement, choices, and decisions. So you are likely trying to make a choice right now. Perhaps you're looking at a couple of different options. Okay, we have hope, which is traditionally the star card. So really beautiful energy there with both the growth and the hope card. I'm feeling like this is something new that you want to grow in your life. Maybe something that you're feeling really called to do. Maybe something connected to your path and purpose as well. Almost like you're being guided towards this choice. Okay, and then we have trapped in fear. So I feel like perhaps the thing that's holding you back is fear. You might be feeling really called toward this. You might have been thinking about doing this for a while, but fear is holding you back. So you have something going on in your mind around this question that is causing you to have trouble moving forward. What this reading is telling me is that you actually have a lot of really positive energy here towards this question, whatever it is. I'm noticing as well, we have the growth card here and this flower. And then if you look in this card, there's also an option here which looks like a bloom or some sort of leaf in this door. So this card is showing a few different choices here and you're trying to choose which door to go through. So for some of you, this might be a little hint or a little nudge from your higher self if your choice has to do with growth, the outdoors, something environmental, or just, trying to grow something in general, something new, something that you're planting seeds for, that kind of thing. So if that resonates for you, just know that that's a little nudge that you are on the right path. But yeah, overall, it looks really positive with this hope card here that you are on the right path and that it's simply something in your mind that is holding you back. It's those fears, it's those thoughts of doubt that you might have about yourself or about the situation. And just know that you are in alignment with making this choice. So let's have a look at one last card here from the Moonology deck for any last advice. Okay, and we have expect powerful change. So this probably is a choice that will create some dramatic shifts in your life. Maybe that's why you do have some fears around it. Of course, when you're making a big choice, that can be difficult. But like I said, the signs are all here that things are going to work out really positively for you, Group 1. So Group 1, that is your reading. I hope that you enjoyed it and found it helpful. Thank you so much for being here as always. If you enjoyed this video, I would love if you gave this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing so that I can see you again soon in another one. Thanks so much for being here. Bye. Hello and welcome to everyone who chose card number 2, which was our disruption card. So let's start with the pendulum to get an answer to your yes or no question. So take a moment to think about your question. Really feel that question in your heart space. Take a deep breath. And what is the answer to Group 2's question? So if you're new here, vertical will mean yes and horizontal will mean no. And it is taking a little bit of time here to make up its mind. Okay. It looks like it has settled on a no. So no for your question, Group 2. Some of you might be relieved by that, depending on what your question is. It did take a little bit of time to get there, so I feel like the situation is probably a little bit more complicated than maybe just a yes or no answer can provide. So let's have a look at some tarot cards, see if we can get a little bit more information here. Okay, we've got movement, choices, and decisions, which interestingly was the first card that came up for Group 1 as well. So if you're feeling called to both cards, you might want to go back and watch Group 1's card as well. Okay, then we have the heart chakra. And the hope card, which also came up in Group 1's reading. Okay, so I definitely feel there's a connection for a lot of you between Group 1 and Group 2. So you might want to go back and watch Group 1's reading as well in case it is relevant to you. So what I'm seeing in this is that you're likely in a situation where you have multiple options. With this disruption card coming in, you might have been put into this situation. So this might not be your choice. This might be something that's happened that's caused you to have to choose between a few different options. As you can see in this card, this person is trying to decide between several doors, and each door has something different in it. Now, none of these doors are actually bad choices, but of course, you still have to make a choice. So that's why it can be kind of challenging to make a choice. Sometimes all the doors feel like they have potential. Sometimes all the doors feel kind of negative. But regardless, I have a feeling in this situation that, there's several different paths that could potentially work for you. With the heart chakra coming up, I feel like you need to listen to your heart more. Some of you might have been experiencing some sort of heartbreak or some kind of loss or something that has made you feel disappointment or hurt or upset. So there's some kind of matter of the heart here. I feel like perhaps some of the emotions involved are clouding your vision a little bit. Like sometimes it's hard to see what the choice is when you're feeling really upset or when you're feeling really negative about a situation or just experiencing some sort of loss. So I do feel like there's something here that is causing pain, that is making it more challenging for you to make this decision. However, we have the hope card here, which is traditionally the star card That is a very good sign that you are moving towards your path, towards your North Star. It's a good nudge from your higher self that you should have hope, that you will absolutely find the right path for you. So because you had a no on this, depending on what your question is, it could be that your situation just needs some tweaking. So whatever it is that you were asking about, you might need to just change something about that in order to make it work. Again, follow your heart here. Really listen to what's going on in your heart. You have those answers and you are being guided right now. Absolutely. Let's have a look at one last card from the Moonology deck for any last bits of advice. Okay, and we have a look at the bigger picture. So that is not surprising. Take a step back, remove some of the emotions so that you can see more clearly. And this card always reminds me of needing to tweak or change the direction slightly, because we have this bow and arrow here. And I always feel like sometimes you just need to change the direction slightly in order to get where you want to go. So I don't feel like there's a major change that needs to be made here. It's like a tweak. It's like just shifting things a little bit, and then all of a sudden things are going to flow more easily for you. So that is what I have for you, Group 2. I hope that this reading was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this reading, I would love if you gave this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing so that I can see you again in another reading. Thanks again for being here. Bye. Hello and welcome to everyone who chose card number 3, which was our cleanse card. So let's start with the pendulum to get an answer to your yes or no question. So take a moment to think about your question again. Really feel that question in your heart space. Take a deep breath. And what is the answer to Group 3's yes or no question? So if you're new here, vertical answer will be yes and horizontal will be no. And we have a yes right away. Okay, so yes to your question, Group 3. Let's have a look at a couple tarot cards just to see if we can get any other information about your situation. Anything that would be helpful for Group 3 to know. Okay, so we have material and spiritual prosperity, so that's great. Positive signs from your guides or the universe here that things are going to work out well for you. Okay, and then we have the waiting game. So feel like this is telling us that you're on the right track. Keep going. This is going to be very prosperous for you, but just know that it's going to take a little time. So don't get discouraged if it takes longer than you hope. It is going to lead to a positive result for you. Okay, and then we have throat chakra. So don't be afraid to say what's on your mind. Don't be afraid to speak up. Don't be afraid to set boundaries if you need to. I also feel like it might be helpful to share your story or to share what you're going through or what you want with other people. That might help you make some connections. But in general, work on speaking up and speaking your truth and saying what's on your mind, because that's going to be helpful in your situation. Let's have a look at the Moonology deck just for any last advice for you, Group 3. Okay, we have your commitment is being tested. So again, I feel like this has to do with waiting. And I feel like this is just a sign from your guides or the universe that you are on the right track, and to be patient and to keep putting in the time and effort, keep putting in the work. You are on the right path. It's just maybe taking a little bit longer than you were hoping for. But I do feel based on this reading that everything is going to work out in your favor. So that is what I have for you, Group 3. I hope that you enjoyed this reading and found it helpful. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this reading, I would love if you gave this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing so that I can see you again soon in another reading. Thanks so much for being here. Bye. Hello and welcome to everyone who chose card number 4, which was our illumination card. So let's start with the pendulum to get an answer to your yes or no question. So take a moment to think about your question again, group 4. Really feel that question in your heart space. Take a deep breath. And what is the answer to group 4's question? So if you're new to these readings, a yes will be vertical and a no will be horizontal. Okay, so it's taking a little time to get there, and it looks like it has settled on a yes. So yes to your question, group 4. It did take a little while, so I feel like it might be a little bit more complicated than just a yes or a no. So let's have a look at some tarot cards and see if we can get any other information about your situation. Okay, we have the heart chakra. We have positive movement forward. And we have fulfillment of wishes. Beautiful. So really positive signs that things are going to work out well for you. Fulfillment of wishes. So whatever you are desiring is going to come to you. Positive movement forward. Looks like you are definitely on the right path. This is a great sign that abundance is headed your way as well. So you're on the right path. You are absolutely going to get what you want. What we have here with the heart chakra, that is telling me that there's some matters of the heart that are causing maybe some delays in this, or maybe you don't believe in yourself. Maybe you've had some pain or some loss recently that's affecting this a little bit. Or this message could just mean to really follow your heart right now. So again, take that how it resonates, but your emotions are playing a part in this, and following your heart and your heart's guidance is playing a part in this. So make sure that you're doing that, group 4. Let's have a look at the Moonology deck for one last bit of advice. Okay, and we have emotions are running high. Yeah, so that does make sense with this heart chakra. I do feel like there's some kind of emotional connection here. Now, the emotions aren't necessarily bad. Like, it could be a lot of excitement, it could be a lot of hope, it could be a lot of love towards a situation. So this is not necessarily a bad thing, but some of you might also be experiencing something in your personal life or something that has affected your heart that's maybe had some sort of effect on this. But ultimately, I feel like your emotions are affecting the situation, so just be aware of that. But it does look like things are going to work out really beautifully for you, group 4. So group 4, that is what I have for you today. I hope that you found this reading helpful. Thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this reading, I would love if you gave this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing so that I can see you again soon in another reading. Thanks again for being here. Bye. Hello and welcome to anyone who chose card number 5, which was our space card. So let's start with the pendulum to get an answer to your yes or no question. So group 5, take a moment to think about your question again. Really feel that question in your heart space. Take a deep breath. And what is the answer to group 5's question? And if you are new here, a yes will be vertical and a no will be horizontal. Okay. It is looking like a no, group 5. Yeah. Okay, so we have a no to your question. Some of you might be relieved by that. Some of you might be disappointed. Let's have a look at what the tarot cards have to say, if there's any other information for you, group 5. Okay, we have wisdom, and this is traditionally the Hierophant in tarot. So I feel like there is definitely some sort of personal growth happening for you. There's internal change happening. You might be doing some soul searching right now. You might be trying to really connect with who you are on a deeper level and what you need. It's interesting too that just the colors of both of these cards so far are black, and black is the absence of colors. So I wonder if some of you, with the space card, maybe you need more space in your life. Maybe you've been feeling overwhelmed lately and you want a change, or you need to clear something out of your life. So let's have a look at a couple more cards here. Base chakra. Let's do one more. And patience and planning. Okay. So with the base chakra, that's often about safety, security. It can be about our health. It can be about our home. It can be about physical things. It could be also about financial security. So I feel like some of you are going through a period of change. Like I mentioned, there might be some changes happening in your physical environment as well. Like you could be moving, or you could be, like I said, experiencing some health changes or some financial changes. There's stuff happening that's causing you to reevaluate right now. So if you were disappointed by this no, I feel like the message here is then to just take some time to reflect and make sure that what you were asking about is actually truly right for you anyways. With the patience and planning card too, it could be that whatever you were asking about just requires more time. It might require some tweaks to the plan. It might require more of a plan in general. I'm also getting a message of being patient with yourself. So as you're growing and going through all of this, to be patient with yourself as you figure out what's next for you and figure out what's right for you. There might need to be some changes in your life that will actually benefit you. And these changes can take time. So if it's something like moving, for example, that can take some time and a lot of planning and a lot of effort to find the right home. Same thing if it's changes to your physical health, right? All of those kind of like fundamental things take time and they take effort. But it looks like you're at a place now where you are gaining a lot of insight and a lot of wisdom. So you can apply that to whatever changes need to be made, and just have patience with yourself and with the whole situation as you move through this. Let's have a look at the Moonology deck for any last bits of advice for group 5. Okay, we have step out of your comfort zone. So you'll have to do something that maybe is a little bit scary, a little bit new. It's always scary. It's always out of our comfort zone when we do something new. And I feel like I said, there's change happening here. And change can always be a little bit scary. It's going to require you to do something different. So just know that this is part of the journey that you're in right now. So if you are feeling a little bit lost or a little bit frustrated by your situation, again, just give yourself some patience, some compassion, and really dig deep to see what is right for you personally in your situation. So that is what I have for you, Group 5. I hope that you found it helpful. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this reading, I would love if you gave this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing so that I can see you again soon in another one. Thanks so much for being here. Bye.